Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to just film a little short video today to kind of give you an update on where we are. We're going to actually harvest some of our lettuce and have for tonight. So that's going to be the first thing we're eating out of our garden. But I did want to real quickly show you guys, I added a couple of herbs today. So I'm going to show you those. I'm going to be honest, I added basil and chives. And the basil doesn't look great. I hope it comes out okay. I am going to plant a lot of seed to have basil to do some preserving with, but I wanted some fresh basil in my pot out here. This is my herb garden that I cook with. So now I have oregano, parsley, cilantro, basil, and chives. And then next to that, you can see I'm getting lots of carrots. Little carrot tops are popping up everywhere, so that's really cool. And then in this bucket, there's nothing there, it's empty, but I planted this week chamomile. So I'm gonna plant my annual herbs in containers, and then the perennials, I'm gonna try to find a spot out in the yard. But now we're gonna go out and harvest some lettuce. Okay, so I wanna show you guys, like our lettuce is really thick, and it's really needing to be thin. So this is just loose leaf lettuce in this first container, and over here, this is lettuce that's supposed to make a head. And it looks like it wants to if you get down there and look, but I need to thin it out or it's never gonna do anything. So I'm also hoping to snag a radish. Okay, so I want to show you guys, I've got a pretty good amount of lettuce in my bucket. It's a pretty good sized bucket. And it's small, so I got other lettuce that I bought to mix with it. Obviously that's not enough for us to have our salad with, but look how much better this looks. So right here, where I really thin that out, now these leaves will be able to grow big enough that it will help us make a whole salad. So I thinned it out really well all the way around. And then I'll keep thinning as it gets bigger. And then we also thin some of these out over here so that they can, this is supposed to get quite a bit bigger and make kind of a head. So we'll see, it may not make it to that in our area. It seems like as soon as it gets hot, our lettuce just gets bitter. And look at these radishes, yay! So I have radishes for my salad tonight. I'm excited. So our first little harvest basket. And we've been having green onions. And you guys can see those. They are really doing well. So this has worked out good for us to put them in this container to have our first green onions of the season. And then I have more planted out in the actual garden. So I just wanted to give you guys this little update, kind of let you see how things are going. It's exciting to be getting our first food that we're actually going to get to eat out of the garden today. Hey guys, welcome back. It's a bright, sunny day here in Tennessee. We're going to be getting up into the 80s today, so we're going to try to get lots of things planted in the garden. We're going to try to plant our corn. We're going to try to plant some squash, zucchini. I got to go and see what kind of seeds I've got for that. My husband saves those. But I'm also going to be trying to plant some of my perennial herbs and also some that are just annual. So I thought we would talk about that first. So I picked out several that are perennials, and we've picked out a spot, and I'm going to try to plant them and see if we can get them to be established there. So one of the ones is lemon balm, and it's got a whole variety of cooking and medicinal benefits. You can add it to teas and things like that and make balms out of it, it says. I'm going to try to get my asparagus planted, and of course that takes a couple of years to get established. So once you plant the seeds, if you get a good crop of asparagus, you have to let it like stay for 2 or 3 years to actually be able to harvest. So I'm also going to plant some chives. They are a perennial, so I'm excited about that. I've never used them as a perennial, so I'm going to plant them out in an area I'll show you guys in a minute. We're going to fix to work. My husband's fixing to get the tractor going, and I'm hoping that I can get this established. Rosemary also is supposed to come back, so I'm going to see. So I'm going to try it in that same spot. And then some annual things. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to plant some mint. I understood that it might come back, so I'm going to try it. I think that I had a list, and honestly, once I started looking at it, it didn't make as much sense. But I think it's a perennial as well, and I'm going to plant it out there. The two things I'm going to plant that are annuals are dill. So I'm hoping to get a good stand of it to use in my canning, and then calendula. Now, calendula is something that I just recently started using for some skin irritation, and it is magnificent. So it is really an herb that has a lot of medicinal benefit for skin irritations and things like that. But then I was also reading on the package that it's edible. So my daughter and I, a few years ago, tried some edible flowers and we liked them on a salad. So I don't know, we may try that. And then I'm also going to plant a couple of flower packs, just some, it's a butterfly and bird mix. It's supposed to attract pollinators. It kind of looks like a wildflower mix. That's what we're going to be planting today, in addition to our corn and probably squash. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys along and kind of show you how we do all those things. And hopefully I'll be able to show you this harvest here in a few weeks. Okay, so here's the corn process. We have a planter that's acting up. So anyway, that's enough said about that. It is working a little bit for now. It has a little spacer thing. I don't know if you can see that from this angle, but when he comes back, I'll show you, to help keep your rows even and that kind of thing. And then we can drop the seed in to it has a little planter box, and it actually will cover it too. So it's quite handy when you're planting seed, and I'm hoping that it works. And while he's doing that, let me show you the potatoes. They're really doing good. You guys can see those. They've come up really good. We really have a good stand in this row especially. This is our ones we're gonna try to store. And then on this, we didn't get quite as good, but still a pretty good stand of potatoes over here. This is our red and fingerling potatoes. So I'm excited to have that. So you can see he made the row, and then he's coming back and he'll have that bar to help give him space, the right space between the rows. Okay, so right there, I planted the asparagus. It required about an inch depth, so I used the hoe there, and I planted, there was 2 small rows there. I was filming the wrong way, so I didn't get the footage that I was trying to get. And now I'm going to the lemon balm. It is a surface plant, so I will just kind of spread the seeds and see what happens. All right, and then next will be the mint. Gosh, they're tea tiny. Let me see if I can show you that. Like, that's tea tiny, if you can see those. Try the calendula out here. It's an annual, so it'll only be good for this year, but I'm going to try it in the ground. I think that's going to be maybe my best bet. We'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to try to show you how this works. These potatoes look really good, y'all. So in the hopper, you got the seeds, right, babe? Yep. All right. And so when he goes, it makes a furrow, drops the seed out, and then covers it, right? Supposed to, he said.
Don't cover them good in rock.
Well, that's true. We do have really rocky soil, so it's a little harder. So with corn, he's saying it's wind pollinated. So if you only plant one row, you may not get good pollination to get a good crop.